Hello everybody, welcome back to Yoga with Carlin. My name's Carlin and today's class is a yoga flow for energy. We're going to get started right away. Before you get set up on your mat, please make sure you click that subscribe button. It really helps me and you'll never miss a yoga class. I'll see you on your mat. So as you can see, we're getting started lying on our backs today, and we're gonna just reach our legs up to the sky, just like we would for legs up a wall. If you have a wall, you can even scooch your seat up to that wall and let your legs just kind of rest there, but we won't be here for long. Your palms face up or down, whatever feels better. And as you start to settle in and breathe here, maybe you draw some circles with the ankles. Maybe you play with pointing the toes and then flexing them towards the face. And find whatever tiny movements feel good. And then just allow the body to settle into stillness. Just taking about 5 deep breaths here. Two more breaths. After your next exhale, let's take a hamstring stretch. I'm going to take my hands, interlace them behind my right knee or thigh, and just take my left leg either down to the ground or take my left foot down to the ground with that bent leg. Gently pulling my right leg in towards my chest, keeping my toes flexed towards my face. You're practicing early in the morning like me. This might be pretty intense of a stretch, so just breathe into it. Don't worry about getting to the fullest expression of the pose. We will come back here at the end of class. 2 more breaths. Coming out of this, switching sides, taking both legs back up to the sky, interlacing the hands behind the left leg, either behind that knee, calf, or the thigh. And then I'm going to take my right leg down, or if it feels better, bend the right knee and place the foot on the ground. Gently pulling my left leg in towards my chest. Take your final breath here. And then when you're ready, reach both legs up to the sky and then hug the knees into the chest. Start to take some rocks up and down the length of the mat. Just take a couple and then we'll build enough momentum to come straight into a tabletop position, crossing the legs, placing the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Just a couple rounds of cat-cow. On the inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. And on the exhale, tuck the chin, round through the spine. Move with your breath. Add or subtract any movement. Take a pause if it feels good somewhere. Just another round or two here. And once you're finished with that final round, come back to a neutral tabletop position, and then step the left leg back as if you were moving into a plank. Reach the left leg up to hip height. Stay here or reach the right arm out in front of you, setting up for some core work. So this might be enough right here, pulling the belly button in and up, reaching the fingers and the toes in opposite directions. If you want a little bit more, take an inhale, lengthen fingers and toes away from one another, and on your exhale, crunch your knee and your elbow in towards center. And then inhale to lengthen them back out, and exhale, crunch everything in, get nice and small. 3 more, inhale, lengthen, exhale, crunch. 2, inhale, lengthen, exhale, crunch. Last full round here, inhale to lengthen, exhale, crunch everything in. Inhale, lengthen 1 more time, then place the right hand down, cross the left foot behind that right leg, and just press that left heel back, starting to stretch that left calf out. And if you want to stretch the side body as well here, you might start to walk your hands over towards the right side of the mat, creating a little bit of a banana shape with the body and lengthening out that left side body. I also feel this a little bit in my right lower back. But again, if you want to keep this as a calf stretch, just keep the hands underneath the shoulders and just breathe here. 1 more breath. And then when you're ready, gently make your way back through center. Set up your alignment, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, and then we'll go for the other side. So step that right foot back like you're moving into a plank. Flex the toes and lift the foot up to hip height. You can stay here or reach the left fingertips out in front of you. Again, this might be enough work for your core. If it is, stay here. If you want more, inhale, lengthen toes and fingers away from each other. Exhale, crunch knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch. Move with your breath. Move at your own pace. The slower, the more you'll build that burn in the core and the rest of the body as well. Last full round here. And then as you lengthen back out, press the left hand down, cross the right foot over the left leg, and just press that right heel back. So you can stay here, or again, maybe you walk the hands over towards the left corner of the mat, really pressing away from the left edge of the mat, stretching out that right side body, or keeping the hands underneath the shoulders, sticking with this calf stretch. Maybe taking some pulses. And then as you're ready, we'll just come back through center. Walk the hands slightly forward of the shoulders. Spread the fingertips nice and wide. Tuck the toes and lift the hips. Find your first downward facing dog of class. Find a little bit of movement here. Inhaling to lift the heels really high and exhaling to sink them back down towards the ground. Inhale, heels lift, come onto your tippy toes. Exhale, sink back down. Do that a couple more times. Maybe it feels better to pedal out the knees, bending one leg as you straighten the opposite. Whatever starts to get the body moving, feeling that stretch in the back of the legs. In the next breath or two, make your way to stillness in your downward facing dog. Heels pressing down, hips lifting up. And then bring the big toes to touch. Keep a gap in your heels. And on your inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky, just to hip height. And then exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes. Stay here in this low lunge. And then walk the right leg to straighten, walk the hands back with it, and you're in your half split. So you might need a little bit more space here, maybe walking the heel forward or the left knee back. Take an inhale, look up halfway, gaze past your right toes, and then fold forward. When you're ready, take an inhale, look up halfway again. This time use that left hand to grab onto the right ankle and move the right foot over towards the left edge of the mat. We're going to stretch out the outside of the left leg, the IT band. So walk the fingertips over towards the right hip. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Flex the right toes towards the face. And you'll really feel this in your right IT band and your right outer hip. Just take a breath or two here. And then when you're ready, come back through center. Again, use that left hand to help you. Step back into your lunge, and then step right back to your downward facing dog. Big toes to touch, little gap in the heels. We'll take that on the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts just to hip height. Exhale, step the left foot in between the hands. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes, and then slowly start to straighten that left leg. I'm going to walk my right knee back just slightly. And I'm in my half split pose. Inhale, look up halfway, gaze past the left toes. And on your exhale, just fold forward. On your next inhale, look up halfway again. Take that right hand, grab onto the left ankle, and then take the left foot to the right edge of the mat, walking the left fingertips and the right fingertips in the opposite direction, squeezing inner thighs together, stretching out that left outer hip, the left IT band. Just another breath here. And then come back through center. Take the left foot back where it was. Walk yourself forward and come to your downward facing dog. Take a big breath in your downward dog. And on your exhale, sigh it out. Getting ready to move through some sun salutations. Bend the knees a lot. Look to the top of the mat. Walk or step your feet to your hands. Inhaling to find length in the spine. Exhaling to bend the knees and fold forward. Grab opposite elbows and find your ragdoll. And taking one last moment here to release any tension before we start to move. After you take your next exhale, gently let the fingertips reach back down to the ground, tuck the chin to the chest, and slowly roll up to standing, one vertebrae at a time. Finding mountain pose, taking a deep breath in and a long breath out. We're going to set up for 2 rounds of Sun B. So bring the big toes to touch, keep a little gap in the heels, reach the fingertips up to the sky, take an inhale, and on your exhale, sit back down in your chair. Imaginary chair here, reaching the hips back. Make sure you can see all 10 of your toes. We're going to hold in this first chair for 5, 4, see if you can get a little bit lower for 3, 2, on 1, inhale, and then exhale, fold forward. Maybe the legs come a little bit straighter than they did before. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look up halfway. And on your exhale, step back to your high plank. Again, we'll hold this first high plank for 5. Pressing the ground away for 4. Belly button in and up, 3, 2. On 1, lower down all the way or halfway for your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. When you get to your down dog, big toes touch. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. Left foot plants down. Warrior 1. Again, we'll take 5 breaths in this first one. 2, 3, 4, last breath here. Take one more inhale, and then use your exhale to plant the hands, step back to your high plank. Take an inhale here, and on your exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Remember that you can always skip the vinyasas if that would feel better in your body. Big toes come to touch. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot steps. Warrior one, right foot spins down. Inhale, lift up. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take one more inhale. And on your exhale, plant the hands, step back to your high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in your down dog. And on your exhale, sigh it out. Bend the knees, look to the top of the mat. Step or jump your feet to your hands. Big toes come to touch. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Sit back. Exhale, mountain pose, stand tall. Deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. One more. Deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Let's do one more sun bee this time. We'll move breath to movement a little bit faster pace. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, right back down. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, plant the hands. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Drop the knees here, and let's find a puppy pose. Keep your knees underneath your hips. Walk the hands forward, and eventually just melt your chest, your forehead, your chin down to the ground. Couple more breaths. And as you're ready, walk the hands back in through center. Come back to your downward facing dog. We'll get into our first standing sequence here. Again, bring the big toes to touch. Inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky, maybe a little bit higher than you did before, stretching out that front hip flexor. And then tap the right knee towards the right elbow. Inhale, open up that right hip like a fire hydrant. Close it, three-legged dog. 2 more times, inhale here. Exhale, tap. Open up the hip, close it, three-legged dog. 1 more time, inhale, tap. Open up the hip, close it. This time, step the right foot in between the hands and open up for your warrior two. Taking a couple breaths here just to settle in. On your next inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. Keep that right knee bent. 1, inhale here. And then on your exhale, take the right forearm to the right thigh, left fingertips up and over the head. And then instead of staying in your side angle like this, maybe you take that right arm underneath the left like you're holding a big beach ball. Activating the obliques here, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, straightening the right leg for your triangle pose with beach ball arms for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, warrior 2, sink back down. That should feel pretty good. One more inhale here. And on your exhale, straighten everything, bring the hands to touch at the top. And then take the feet to face the long edge of the mat. Take the heels in and the toes out. Take an inhale here. And on your exhale, sink into your goddess squat. So your knees are tracking right over your second or third toes. Woo. Holding here. And then let's pulse it out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, straighten everything. Take the feet a little bit wider this time, toes in, heels out. Interlace the hands behind the back. Inhale, open the heart. And on your exhale, hinge and fold forward. Keep the hands at the seat or reach them up and over the head, opening the shoulders. Stay here for 3 deep breaths. Last one here. At the bottom of your exhale, use your inhale to come all the way back up. Face the right toes towards the top edge of the mat again. Warrior 2. And then cartwheel the hands. Step it back to your high plank. Take a vinyasa or go right back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, take a deep breath in. Take a long breath out. Bring the big toes to touch for the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts maybe a little bit higher this time. Exhale, tap left knee to left elbow. Open up the hip like a fire hydrant and close it. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, tap. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Last one, tap, open, close, step for warrior 2. Again, take a couple breaths here, settle in. When you're ready, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. Keep that bend in the front knee. And on your next inhale, left forearm to left thigh, left fingertips up and over the head. In your side angle pose. Stay here, or maybe you take that left arm underneath the right, firing up the core. For 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, straighten the left leg, triangle with the beach ball. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, sink back into your warrior 2. That feels nice. And then when you're ready, straighten everything. Hands up above the head, come to touch. Take the toes to the long edge of the mat. Heels will face in, toes will face out. Inhale here, and on your exhale, sink down into your goddess pose. Again, we'll pulse it out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten everything. Toes in. Interlace the hands, take an inhale, exhale to fold forward. 3 deep breaths. When you're ready, use an inhale to lift everything back up. Trying to avoid my house here. And then come back into your warrior 2. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, cartwheel both hands to the inside of the left foot. So walk that left foot out all the way to the left edge of the mat with the toes facing out and the heel facing in. We're going to step our right foot forward the same way for Malasana. Coming right into our yogi squat. Knees press into the elbows, elbows press back into the knees. Nice and proud here. And then when you're ready, we'll lower all the way down onto our seat, taking the knees to tabletop for our boat pose. Holding in boat for 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, drop the forearms, straighten the legs up to the sky. And then from here, we'll take some more core work. So lower the right leg, lift the left, and then switch out the legs. Keep going just like that. Alternating legs, keeping the chest nice and proud. The next time your right leg is down and your left leg is up, hold. Let the right leg hover and pulse the toes up to the sky for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch out the legs. Left leg hovers, right leg lifts up, and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both legs up, and then come down to the ground. Hug the knees in. And then take the feet to press down into the mat. You should just be able to graze the heels with the fingertips. The feet should be hips width distance apart. We'll take 2 rounds of bridge pose. When you're ready, take an inhale, press into the feet and the hands, lift the hips up to the sky. 5 breaths. 4, 3, 2, last one. Exhale, gently lower down. Stay in stillness, just pause. Notice the effects of that back bend. And we'll go for our second and final round. Pressing the hands and the feet down into the mat. Take an inhale, lift the hips up to the sky. Maybe this time you walk the hands underneath you, squeeze the shoulders together, interlace the hands, and lift the hips a little bit higher. Breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. When you're ready, gently lower down. Take the knees into the chest and grab onto the outside or the inside edges of the feet, maybe the ankles. Pull the knees in towards the armpits. And just take some little rocks side to side in your happy baby. Nice stretch in the hips and the inner thighs. Allowing the breath to slow down. And then making sure the entire lower back is pressing down into the ground. Lift the legs back up to the sky. We'll take that same hamstring stretch that we took in the beginning of class. So maybe you first just roll out the ankles, draw some circles in both directions. And then maybe you flex the toes towards the face and point them away from you. Eventually grabbing behind the right leg wherever feels comfortable, letting the left leg drop down to the ground, or remember you can bend it just like so. Gently pulling that right leg in towards the face. Last breath here. When you're ready, switch out the legs. Take the hands, interlace them somewhere behind the left leg, and then take the right leg down to the ground, or bend the knee, place the foot on the ground. Breathing here, gently pulling that left leg in towards the chest. Last breath here. And then when you're ready, reach the legs back up to the sky. We're going to end here today with our legs up in Waterfall Pose. Again, really pressing that low back down into the ground so there's no little pockets of air. Reaching the legs up. If it feels better, come to a wall or a bed and you can gently rest the legs there. Or if you're by a bed or a couch, you could even bend the knees to rest the calves on the top of the couch. You can stay in this pose for as long as you'd like. Whenever you're ready, you'll gently pull the knees into the chest, come up to a seated position, and close out your practice. But again, you can stay here as long as you'd like. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I'll see you next time. Namaste.